All right, let's get practicing in QuickBooks Online. Grab the link below so that you can follow along. All right, here we are in the QBO gym, and the QBO gym is really just a set of exercises that help simulate real life scenarios that you may encounter as a bookkeeper. And every single month, we have it broken down into 4 different categories, and within each category is a set of exercises for you to complete. So we are going to be working in the cool down section for June today, and you will see at the top here a video. It's a little synopsis of what's going on in Craig's world that month. He is our fictitious business owner. And then further down, we have a quiz that relates to the video. And then further down, we have all of our exercises. So today we are going to be working on reconciling Craig's bank accounts. So if you have not done the cardio section yet, you need to go back and do that one first, as you need to be in the same sample company session that you used for those exercises. So our scenario today is, as a bookkeeper, your primary responsibility is to ensure that all financial transactions are correctly categorized and match the flow of money into and out of the bank. You have just received the monthly statements from Craig's banks. Now it is time to confirm that all transactions have been correctly added to and categorized in QuickBooks Online. So to complete this task, you need to have a copy of Craig's bank statement, which is found under the video in the cool down section. So we're going to go back to the gym here. Here is the video right here where it says bank statement. Go ahead and click on that link. And here it is. So the first thing that we need to do is go into Account Tools and then select Reconcile. So here we are in the sample company, Accountant Tools, and you will go down to Reconcile. Now you will see this screen the first time that you do reconciling. Anytime after that, you will no longer see it. It's just kind of like an intro message. So go ahead and click the green Get Started button. And then here it is again, another kind of intro. Again, once you do it after the first time, you won't see this anymore. So just go ahead and click Let's Get Reconciled. All right, steps 2 and 3 are exactly what we just saw. Like I said, first time you see it, first time you reconcile, you'll see it. After that, you won't anymore. Okay, so this bank actually combines both the savings account and the checking account into one statement. So we're going to start with the savings account. It's the easier one, but in real life, you can do them in any order you want. So to get started, we are going to, in the account dropdown, select savings. So here's the account dropdown. Go ahead and select savings. And then we're going to enter the ending balance found on the sample bank statement, which is ending balance is $800.02. $802. And then the ending date would be the date on the bank statement, but for the purposes of the exercise, we are just going to use today's date. So I believe I can type the T. Nope, it will not let me do it. So I'm just going to select today's date. You can do the same. And then you're going to click on the green Start Reconciling button. Okay, so before we move on to reconciling the savings account, I want to go through what you will see on the screen. We're going to base it off of this screen here because there's a lot more information than the savings after you clicked the Let's Reconcile green button on the previous screen. So let's just take a look at this. Just keep in mind that these numbers nor the account, they do not reflect this particular exercise. This is just an example before we move on with the exercise. So the first thing here is this beginning balance. This is the ending balance from the last time that you reconciled. It cannot be changed. It is set in stone. The statement ending balance is from the bank statement that you just entered on the previous screen. If, however, you discover that you entered the ending balance or the statement date incorrectly, you can go ahead and click on this Edit Info button to change it. You'll also notice that next to each transaction is a circle. This will have a blue check mark, and if the transaction, it will have a blue check mark if the transaction has already been marked as cleared, such as processing bank fees. And then when a transaction is checked, it will go be added to the total payments or deposit, and it's just based off of which one it is, a payment or deposit here. Let's see where we're at. The cleared balance here is the beginning balance here minus the payments and deposits. So this equation is what this equals. And then this one over here, the difference is what the statement ending balance minus the cleared balance equals. The goal is to have this be 0. If it is a 0, it means that everything is matching up properly and you have finished your reconciling. So the goal always is to have a 0. One more thing too is that all of the transactions that are currently showing are those that are dated on or before the statement ending date. You can turn this off by this filter off by clicking on this little X here where it says statement ending date. This may be a good idea to do because if transactions were added with an incorrect date, for instance, it wouldn't show up here. So these are called sometimes the hidden or rogue transactions. So just keep that in mind. If you're looking for something, maybe just click on the X and see if it's going to appear. So in the remaining steps of this exercise, we are going to complete reconciling every single transaction until the difference right here is going to end up being 0. If you already have any blue check marks, uncheck them individually or uncheck all of them by just clicking the little circle at the top of the column. You will need to turn them all on and then turn them all off. Okay, and that's just because we're going to have to go through each one individually. So if you're ready, let's go ahead and reconcile the savings account. Keep in mind that in the sample company, there may be several navigation pop-ups. You can just go ahead and click out of those. As you can see right here, here's one of them. So I'm just going to click out of it. X. It's just a lot of extra information that would be helpful, especially if it's your first time reconciling. Okay, so for our savings account, there's only one transaction on the statement. So we're just going to click on the circle and mark this transaction reconciled. So the way to do this is you want to go back to the bank statement and you see that there is this deposit checking, this $200. That is what this one is right here. So we're going to just click on that button right there. And you'll see that the difference has now changed from $202 to now 2 cents. So that 2 cents is the interest deposit. If we go back to the bank statement, you will see interest paid. It was 2 cents. So we need to add it here. The first thing that you're going to do is click on the plus new button and then select bank deposit. All right. And just know that you will add this from the bank feed, but we can easily add it manually this way as well. Okay, and then we are going to fill it out. So for the account dropdown, we are going to select savings. So the account here, we're going to select savings and scroll down here to the add funds to this deposit. And we are going to select interest earned under the account and then just add 2 cents. So the accounts, go ahead and start typing interest earned. There we go. And it was a total of 2 cents. If you tab over, you will see that the 2 cents are added there. And then you are just going to click on Save and Close, this button right here. And you will see that it has now been added. Here's the 2 cents. And you can go ahead and just click on that circle, and then we're going to click on Finish Now. So once you click on that circle, you'll see difference. There's that green check mark. It means that everything is matched up properly. So just go ahead and click on Finish Now. And here you go, you have reconciled this account. Note too that in a real life scenario with your when you're working for your clients, there will be a little button here that will say attach statement. Here, I'll show you here on step 12. Here it is right here. If the bank provides only one statement for both the checking and the savings, you could attach it to each reconciliation or just the checking account, since that one has the bulk of the transactions. So just know that there will be a little button. It's just with the sample company, they don't offer that. So I'm going to go ahead and click done. And we are back to this screen here. Now let's turn our attention to the checking account. Using the account dropdown, we are going to select checking, and then we're going to enter the ending balance that we find on the bank statement, add in today's date, since we don't have an actual ending date on the bank statement, and then start reconciling. So let's start this one at a time. Under the account, go ahead and click on checking. The ending balance, go ahead and go to the statements. And we're going to go down to the checking here. The ending balance is this $2,542.46. So I'm going to do 2,542 and 46 cents, I believe was the correct amount. Yep, 2542.46. And then just go ahead and put today's date. You would put, if there was an actual ending date here, you would put that date, but since we just have it as period ending today, you'll just put today's date. And then click the green Start Reconciling button. Go ahead and close out of these little navigations. They're just giving you a little bit more information. Okay. And as you can see, there's a lot more transactions here versus what we had in the savings. So we are just going to go through them one by one. Using the sample bank statement, we're going to check off the first 4 matching transactions. So let's go down here. We see that Robertson and Associates, there was a $300 payment. So go ahead and click on that one. We see there was a deposit check for $175. Right, it's that one right there. Another thing for Robertson and Associates, it's for $250. There it is right there. And you can see that the name is right here. I know I'm matching the amounts here, but you should look also at the payee name so that you know that you're clicking on the correct one. And then the next one, we have check number 12 was for $55. Here we go, check number 12, $55. Go ahead and click on that blue check mark. And then I'm going to just go through here. Let's go to the next one on our list. This Board of Equalization, this $38.50. Okay, here's where we're going to pause for 1 second. You'll notice that there are 2 identical payments on the list. In the real life scenario, you would need to investigate this. What happened here? Why is it showing that way? And a common scenario is that someone entered a transaction with the wrong amount. Then when the bank feed came along, it didn't match, so they added a new one. Regardless, for the purposes of this exercise, we will use the one that matches the bank statement. As a good rule of thumb, when there is any kind of discrepancy, the bank is always right, because that's what's happening in the real world. QBO is such a great tool for you to do your bookkeeping, but mistakes happen, and so the bank is like the steadfast. It's the real life. It's what you are using every day. So that is always going to be the one to follow. So we're going to go ahead and check the transaction that matches the bank statement, which we said was $38.50 for the Board of Equalization. So $38.50, we're going to go ahead and click that one. Okay, and then we are just going to continue matching up transactions. Okay, so we stopped at the $30.50. Okay, so Tanya's nursery, we have one for $89.09. $89, Tanya's $89.09. We have another one from Tanya's. It's $108.90. So 108.9. Okay, so this one says $108.09. So we're going to pause here for 1 second. What we are looking at is the QBO transaction. As a rule of thumb, like I said, the bank is always right. And it's clear that someone just simply mistyped the amount that when they enter the transaction in QBO. You can change it during reconciliation in a similar way to how we added the check number in the previous step. So we're going to click on the transaction to open the details, change the amount, and then click Save. So this is the one right here. So you can just click on it. And we are just going to adjust this to 90 cents, not 9 cents, and click Save. And there it is right there. Go ahead and click that blue check mark since that one has matched. And then here we have the next one. Check number 5 is for $62.01, which is right there. Check another deposit check for $86.40 right here. $225 for Kate. Here's Kate, $225. And then another deposit check for $105. Go ahead and click that. We're just cruising along right now. Okay, let's see what's next. $250 for Hicks Hardware and a $24.36 transaction. So $250 here for Hicks and then $24.36. $19.99 for Squeaky. Squeaky Clean, $19.99. Great. $5.66 for Bob's Burger Joint. Bob's Burger Joint, $5.66. Check number 69, we have $100. Check number 69. Now it doesn't have the 69 there, but that is okay. Just want to pause here to make sure that I'm not missing something. Okay. But we know that that is the correct amount for $100. Okay. And then we have here, where am I? Chin's Gas, $52.14. $52.14. There it is. Check number 70 here is $185. 185. Go ahead. A deposit check for $694. There it is. Hall prop, you'll see for $900 right here. Now I want you to keep in mind too that if you haven't noticed already, these are not all in the same order as the bank statement, and that's okay. And sometimes that's just because things are deposited at a different time than what we have recorded here. So just know that it's okay if it's not exactly in alignment, as long as you are matching up what is on the bank statement to what is here in the reconciliation, then you'll be fine. Okay, so we just finished $900. Okay, so Hicks Hardware for $215.66. All right, we're getting close to the end here. Check number 2, we have it for $18.08. There it is, right on top, $18.08. And we did say that was for that. Okay. Bob's Burger Joint again for $3.86. Here we go. The insurance agency, $2,000. Insurance, $2,000. Great. The bank deposit, $556.25. Let me scroll up, make sure I didn't miss it. Okay. Let's stop here for a second. Okay, there's a couple of things that are missing here. So I'm going to continue going through here for the ones that I have found, and then we will go back to it. So Travis Waldron, $103 and 55 cents. Freeman Sports Good for $50. Freeman Sports, there it is. Books by Bessie, $75. Books by Bessie, $75. Squeaky Clean Car Wash, $19.99. Squeaky Clean, there it is. High's Cakes for $87.50. There it is. And then a bank deposit for $408 right there. Okay, so we have a bunch of other things in here. Let's go back to the exercise and see a little bit more about what's going on with these. Okay, so the bank statement does not have a record of check number 4 written to Chin's Gas and Oil. This is a common scenario. People frequently take a while to cash their checks, as I mentioned before, and the bank does not have a record of it until it has been cashed. However, Chin did cash check number 5, so it's possible that they misplaced check number 4. It would be a good idea to keep an eye on this and reach out to them if they haven't cashed it after a while. Okay, so here's that check number 4 that is being referred to, and check number 5 they had deposited. Another thing, there is a check transaction for $100, but there is no reference number or check number associated with it. These days, banks typically have a copy of the checks with the statement. With some banks, QBO will now actually bring that image of the check with the transaction as well. You could look at the check to confirm it was made out to Tony. Once confirmed, you can add the check number to the transaction when reconciling. That was the one where I had paused before. Let's see where that is right here. So if you click into it, it is check number 69, I believe is the one that we had. Let me go back to the statement. Yep, check 69 right here for $100. So we're going to go ahead and just add it there and just click save. Great. All right, let's continue on. When finished, you will note that there is one deposit missing for the amount of the $556.25, which is where I had paused before. Your natural inclination might be to just create a bank deposit for the missing amount. If you did this, however, you would need to talk to Craig to find out what the money was for, where it came from, all the details. Before you do that, though, look closely at the remaining unchecked deposits. When you do, you may notice that $337.50 plus $218.75 equals your missing amount. A likely scenario is that Craig deposited both of those together but didn't tell you, so you recorded it incorrectly. There are two ways to handle this. First, which is the more precise, correct way, would be to open sales receipt 1003, redirect the funds to undeposited funds, then open the deposit and add that payment. This would accurately reflect exactly what happened. However, you could also look at the big picture here. Is it so important that this is precisely correct that it's worth your time to make the adjustments? Probably not. What's important is that both payments were deposited. So for this reason and for the purposes of this exercise, we're just going to mark them as cleared. So we're looking for the 337.50 cents. That's the first one. 337.50. 337.50. Yep, there we go. And then this last one, this $218.75. That equals the 500, what did we say it was? The $556.25. All right, now that those have been checked, you will see this 0. This is so amazing as a bookkeeper. I can't tell you how exciting it is to see that 0. It means that everything is matching up and you're ready to be finished. So go ahead and click on that green Finish Now button. And congratulations, you reconciled this account. So go ahead and click the Done button. In addition to the transactions that need investigation and the check that hasn't cleared yet, there will be transactions left unreconciled. I don't know if you saw at the bottom of that page, and that's just because activity continues to happen in this account even after the bank statement cutoff date. So don't worry if you see like all those other extra ones. It's just because they're not part of that statement. And yeah, now that you have reconciled the checking account, credit card statements would typically be the next thing, and they usually come in different schedules than bank statements. So you are finished reconciling for the day. So congratulations with that. And that is how you would reconcile at the end of the month. If you have any questions about the QBO Gym, just click on the link below and be sure to leave this session of the sample company open as you will need it for the following exercise in the cool down section, which is all about updating inventory. And I will see you in that next video.